What is up, bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video and the continuation of the series you guys really enjoyed, which was we started off this year covering some beginner routines towards the more advanced skills in bodyweight training, such as the planche and the front lever. Those two I'll link in the description down below, and there were comments on those two videos asking for a one-arm chin-up and a handstand push-up progression. So here we are with the following two videos. Today is going to be covering the one-arm chin-up, and I'm going to be adding the handstand push-up in the coming weeks as well. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this routine. Now, I will mention at the beginning of this video the importance of general physical preparedness with training these more advanced skills. Now, I kind of mentioned this a lot in the beginning of the planche video, so for full details, go back and watch that one. But essentially, if you're not strong with basic patterns, then your base, your foundation is not going to be strong enough to build a nice tall pyramid, which in the top of the pyramid would be your advanced skill. So small base, small peak, big base, bigger peak. We want to make sure that we have at least the ability to perform sort of 8 to 10 pull-ups before we even think about starting to train the one-arm chin-up. It is such a tendon heavy and connective tissue heavy intensive movement. That tendon connective tissue takes much longer to develop than it does to develop the muscular system, maybe about 7 to 10 times longer. For this reason, I think the one-arm chin-up is probably one of the most injured movements in bodyweight training. A lot of people will start training the one-arm chin-up and they just start by chucking in some negatives, which, you know, you're literally going from 0 to 100. The negative is an extremely intense movement on just that one arm, especially that elbow. So today I want to give you a bit more of a conservative approach that is going to hopefully prevent your kind of risk of getting injured when developing your one-arm chin-up, and kind of laying the foundations to make sure your base is nice, strong and stable. So we're going to start off with the A series, the main, the core, the bread and the butter of developing the one-arm chin-up. Today we're going to be using something called a mixed grip chin-up. Now, the mixed grip chin-up on paper, or how you're looking now, may not look that much different to a regular chin-up in terms of difficulty, but I promise you, if you give this one a go, it's going to feel significantly different. Now, what it does is it just introduces the element of unilateral loading in the one-arm chin-up. Whereas in a normal chin-up, we're going to have pretty much 50-50 weight distribution between hands. When we do a mixed grip chin-up, that's probably going to shift to about 70-30 between the working arm and the assisting arm. This movement is also very scalable. We can develop this and load it very progressively with kind of how we're feeling on a week-to-week basis, but also a rep-to-rep basis. We can use something called mechanical advantage to really make the most out of this drill. So we can do this as simply as doing it just a regular chin up with our hands in that mixed grip position, one hand supinated, one hand pronated, with the supinated hand being the working arm. For the gradual shift to the working arm, this can be by moving the assisting arm out slightly, or it can be by shifting the grip on the assisting arm to just fingers rather than a full hand width. You can then do a nice slow controlled negative down, taking sort of about 4 seconds or so. That again, that negative element is going to help a lot with that tendon connective tissue conditioning in the arm, shoulder, forearm. You're going to want to perform this one for about 5 sets of 2 to 3 reps per side. Again, with that tempo of about 1 up, 1 to 2 second pause in the top position, really locking in that arm, shifting the weight over, and then about 4 seconds negative down. When you are performing this one though, you want to make sure that you perform all the reps on one side. Don't alternate back and forth, because we end up getting a bit of a rest between sides and the intensity changes. All the reps on one side, rest for about 10 to 20 seconds, then do the other side. And as a recommendation, I would say you want to start on the weaker side. It's going to help balance those imbalances out, but it's not necessary. Now, for those of you who want a fully structured and periodized program developing your skill strength, and I do have the skill strength program in my app Tribe. The first level, of course, is completely free, much like all the programs in the app, and it takes you through developing both the planche, front lever, and the one-arm chin-up. If you get bored, you can also add in some programs for the handstand, the hamstrings, front splits, all of that good stuff that are all available through that one app. So again, if you want to check that one out, link will be in the description down below. Next, we come on to the Bs. We need to support that main movement with some more volume. So what we're going to do is, again, we want a unilateral movement, a single arm pulling movement, but we want it to be a lower intensity that we can just get some reps in. So to do this, we're going to use an archer bodyweight row. The arch bodyweight row is performed in which one arm is left straight during the movement. This straight arm just basically provides a mechanical disadvantage on that arm. We're going to be less likely to pull with it, so we're going to be more likely to pull with the working arm. Much the same as a mixed grip chin-up works. If you're a little bit weaker and you're struggling with this exercise, don't be afraid to take the intensity of the exercise back, so move to a more vertical position rather than being horizontal, or even by bending the knees to make this one a little bit easier. This one here, we can focus even more on that working arm being the lead arm. So again, getting the shoulder blade in the right position, depression, retraction, driving the elbow behind, lifting the chest to the working arm. In this movement especially, we're going to see more of that shift from side to side as we're pulling to just the one arm. When performing this drill, I would recommend using a neutral grip with the hand. That is going to be with the thumb facing towards you, just as that enables you to lose a bit more of the musculature in the arm, such as the brachialis, the brachioradialis and things, which we're going to get to in the C series. 3 to 4 sets of about 4 to 6 repetitions per side. Again, using a tempo of about 1 up, 1 pause, a few seconds down. That should be perfect. Like the first exercise, we want to perform all the reps on one side before we perform the reps on the other side. The C movements is kind of a little bit of a remedial exercise, some accessory movements that is going to help bulletproof some of the weaker points and the more likely to injure points of the one arm chin up. So the first exercise for this, we're going to use a single arm scapular pull. Very simply, this is kind of just the first movement of, to be honest with you, the mixed grip chin up we did at the beginning, or the one arm chin up in general. We're going to be really focusing on that scapular positioning, that ability to get our shoulder into depression, so pulling shoulder blade away from the ear, making that gap larger, and then retracting the shoulder blade, pulling the shoulder blades back and together. But we also want to think about pulling the hand slightly across the body, so adducting the arm slightly. We might even feel that the pec starts to work a little bit. Again, this is an important element of the one arm chin up. We're going to pull up, we're going to lift that chest up, lock the arm in, hold for about 3 to 4 seconds, and then lower back down. Now there's many ways you can set this up with the assisting one arm. I'm personally, just for simplicity reasons, gonna hang on some rings, and the working arm, I'm just gonna hold the rings normally. The assisting arm, I'm gonna hold with some fingers instead, so it's less likely that I'm gonna pull through that arm. Can do this with less assistance or just with no assistance at all and just perform a full single arm scapular pull-up. You're gonna want to perform this one for about 6 to 8 repetitions per side, and again with that sort of 3-second pause in that active hang. So that helps kind of create a more strength and more volume around the shoulder, that important active shoulder position. Next, we're going to take a look at the other problem area, which is the elbow, and specifically the bicep. The bicep actually is a massive important factor when it comes to one arm chin up. As a beginner, as somebody who's starting out developing their one arm chin up, is about developing those tendons, connective tissue structures in the elbow, in the arm. But to one, make you stronger to be able to perform the movement, but 2, also reduce that likelihood of injury. So here I like the dumbbell hammer curl. Now the hammer curl is a fantastic option that I've actually covered in quite a lot of detail in my stronger elbows video, which is part of the strong joint series that I did, which we covered wrists, knees, ankles, and also the elbow. So I'll link to all of those in the description down below. By doing a hammer curl in that neutral grip position, we're going to introduce in developing more of the brachialis, the brachioradialis, and even the pronator teres in the forearm, few muscles that are important for stabilizing that elbow joint. And again, just being strong, having strong and also bigger biceps, because a bigger muscle is a stronger muscle, is going to help us with this one arm chin up. Now I would recommend doing these in a heavy, slow, eccentric fashion. So we're going to load them up to nice and heavy, and we're going to perform the movement slowly. So I think 2 seconds up, no pause at the top, 3 seconds down. So it's sort of a slow, continuous movement. Again, like the single arm scapular pull up, we're going to perform for about 6 to 8 repetitions. And that's basically it really. That's kind of the routine. It's quite a simple one, and also can be paired with the upcoming handstand push-up one, much the same as the planche and the front lever routine were designed to kind of pair together. So you're gonna have to wait for the other half of this routine coming in the next couple of weeks. If you don't want to miss that one, you should definitely go and subscribe, maybe hit the bell notification button as well right below this video. Join the Bodyweight Warrior Tribe. Also, don't forget to check out the routines available in my app Tribe. If you don't want to miss out on some in detail and periodized programs, all of them are available in the link below. If you enjoyed this video, enjoying this series, hit that thumbs up button and support the channel. I'd highly appreciate it. Also, while you're down there, you can leave a comment if you have any feedback, you want to kind of ask some questions. I will do my best to answer as many as I can. Or maybe you have something that you found particularly useful at the start of your one arm chin up journey that you want to share with everyone. I'm sure people would be appreciative for that. So leave a comment in the comment section down below. But that has basically been it for this week, guys. I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a strong week and peace.